This week, I drag race a van in a DAF. David knocks up a lass and moves to America, and Chloe isn't sure why truck drivers love Mexican food and need a dedicated taco break to have it. So, let's strap down, let's strap in, and let's do this.
This is just another trucking podcast.
I think I've told you guys. Have I told you how this got started?
Go
Because
on.
of another. It got started because of another podcast.
Oh yes.
You were listening to another podcast, or you were on another podcast?
Wow.
No. So
No, I remember now.
it was the Road Legends podcast, and so they'd started their podcast. It was a trucking podcast. Me and Chris were talking about it. We were like, "Oh wow, this is be fucking amazing." There's like a trucking podcast. We were big into podcasts at the time, and we loved listening to them. But the idea of a trucking podcast was really cool to us, and we listened to it, and we were just like, "This is about the road legends. It's not about trucking."
About
And
themselves.
it was about the road legends, which is fine. I'm sure there's people who actually wanted to hear about the road legends, but we already spoke to them like on a daily basis. We're like, we don't want to hear. We already hear about what the fuck you're doing of a week.
Because you're on the WhatsApp chat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, we don't want to hear more from fucking Luke because I talk to fucking Luke every day. The dickhead. So me and Chris, we've been talking together, and I don't know what point it was, but at some point talking turned into, oh yeah, we've just ordered 2 fucking microphones, and we've just we've what was the service we used to use before Riverside? It was
It was.
What did you have before?
Orange, it wasn't Orange Circle.
no, it wasn't.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember that it was different. I can't remember.
I'm
all right.
for Riverside, but right, let's do this. Hello, this is Just Another Trucking Podcast. I am your host, Tom, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friends, my co-hosts. Got Chloe. Hello, Chloe.
Hello. How are you? All right.
Very
All
good.
right.
That's,
Hi, Chloe.
I'm liking the poshness.
Yes. I don't know why that.
Good.
I don't know where that came from, but we're all good.
Fucking A. I like it. And David, by the way, David, hello. Thank you for my Christmas presents.
Happy Christmas.
I actually look. I
Oh.
look like a professional. I look like an actual member of the
David,
team and shit.
What
Yes.
are you going to put behind him?
An orange wall, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, we are.
But
Don't
does
put
that
orange
mean I'm gonna-
camouflage. You'll disappear.
Where's his head gone? It's the same colour. Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah.
Everyone's introduced. How are we doing? Everyone happy? We good to
I
go?
hope so. Now a lot of people, they may have just experienced an advertisement, and some people haven't. All right, it's not figured out yet. But some people in England are not getting ads. I need you guys to get ads because we need to make money. Now, basically, I'm asking for a bit of bear with us. I'm sorry that we're putting ads in now, and that kind of sucks. Nobody likes ads, but as in it is the way of the world, and that's the only way.
Well, this all came up because I pointed out that the podcast costs us personally £1,000 a year, which is quite a lot of money. We were like, wait, this is a lot of money to be spending on this. So, yeah, I think we'd figured out. Let's see if we can. Yeah, let's get some help.
And
Because we want to keep doing this.
every other
Yeah.
podcast has ads too. Eventually, we're going to have spoken ads to where we're going to have actually some script to actually read out to you guys. But now it's just going to be some automatic ads depending on what country you're living in. If you're living in Ireland, you're going to have someone with an Irish accent. Give a spiel off, whatever. You know what I mean? That's it. Because I tried the whole VPN. I tried listening to the last podcast with in other countries, and it was all different types of ads from whatever country.
What was it? The Dacia Sandero was the
We had the
advert that we just
Dacia.
listened to. Right.
We just tested it. It was
okay.
Dacia. Yeah.
Did anyone else find when I don't know if do you have dacias out in America, David?
What is it?
Are they pronounced
Dacia.
they're Dacia, aren't they?
Right, right. So this is my point. So when it first came out and the first adverts came out, and they were like the new Dacia Sandero. I'm like, the what? The Dacia? What
Is
the
this a car?
I've never heard
It's a-
that.
it's a-
Yeah.
Right. The reason why we think it's not pronounced that is because of James May of Top Gear.
Oh,
because
really?
he pronounces it Dacia.
But
Now,
then
I don't
the
know.
adverts pronounce it Dacia now.
No,
like
it's
the
not.
Dacia
They say
Duster.
Dacia. No,
They say Dacia.
they don't. They say Dacia.
They say Dacia.
They don't. I'm telling you right now, they do not. Let's not have a domestic on the
it's
fucking
got
thing.
It's got the really deep sounding voice, man, and he goes, "Oh, it's a Dacia." I can't do
It
his
does
voice.
not. 1 second, right? 1 second. It's like, everyone stop. Stop the podcast. We're fucking looking at this right now. The Dacia.
It says Dacia. I swear it.
God, it's gone off the rails already. How many minutes in are we?
I found it
second.
weird that Hyundai sounds different in America. They say Hyundai.
Say
Hyundai.
what?
They say
What?
Hyundai.
Hyundai?
Not Honda, but yeah, instead of going Hyundai, they go like. First of all, I was like Honda. You mean no Hyundai? We don't. We have a Honda as well, but we also have Hyundai.
They got
I've never-
There's a Hyundai.
It is Hyundai, but they
Yeah.
pronounce it Hyundai.
Hyundai. Oh, that's a bit
Hyundai.
weird.
Yeah,
Have
if
you-
you look at it, you can go like, oh, okay, I can see that. I
Have
suppose.
you
But
have you
know,
seen
that's
those the Hino lorries?
Hino? No.
The Hino, and for ages I thought they were meant to be Rhino. And I kept seeing one driving around going, he's missing the bloody R. He's missing the bloody R. It keeps falling off. Turns out it's
Oh,
just
wait.
a Hino.
Wait, no. I've just realised I'm completely wrong.
Yes! Have you
It's
listened
the
to
other
it?
way round. It's the other way round, isn't it? So wait, now which way did I just say?
I said Dacia.
Right,
Dacia's correct.
right. So Dacia's the correct one.
Right.
Dacia is what James May. Yeah,
Gotcha.
right. Is that right? Was
Right.
It is a Dacia Sandero. The new Dacia Duster. There's a new Dacia. That's the Dacia Sandero. The Dacia Sandero is almost here.
И представляем надёхонький автомобиль Dacia Sandero.
Fuck
It's like,
me.
have you seen the Cumberbatch the Cumberbatch where he does the penguins and he calls them penguins?
Oh my
Penguins.
god,
Oh
That's
my
so
god,
good.
that's
That's
right.
so
Ping-
good.
It's the
Penguins.
same sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Check out
David,
this
can we
penguin.
just very quickly? Let's just put a clip in right now of him putting in the way he pronounces it.
Is penguins, crested penguins, parent penguin heading home. So why are these woodlands so attractive to penguins?
That's how he does it. That's how he says it, and it's fucking
It's
amazing.
hilarious. And the whole thing is so good. So
Well,
good.
the thing is, wait, because it is Dacia's the correct term, but
I always knew
oh no, that's
Dacia.
right. Dacia's the correct one, or the one that they say on the adverts. But
Yes.
Dacia, well, that's like, yeah, I don't know. I think the other way is the
But
the
then
way
it's
that
the
James
same
May
as
sounds better. doesn't
IKEA,
it?
isn't it? Everyone calls it IKEA, but it's IKEA, isn't it? It's IKEA.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I think they've done that in the adverts just to make it sound more like Swedish, isn't it?
Oh, you
Okay.
reckon? Okay.
I think so.
Well, he's a Swedish dude
'Cause
going,
it's
IKEA.
IKEA, the wonderful,
IKEA.
lovely day.
All right, before we go
Come
completely
buy
off
some
track,
Swedish meatballs.
before we go completely off track,
Taste
all right,
garbage.
let's do some housekeeping. All right, because we have a tendency to not do the housekeeping. Housekeeping is very important. Now,
Oh yeah,
if,
we've got distracted.
if
already.
you guys
Not
are
bad.
watching on YouTube, and you're driving, please stop, pull over, and
On the hard shoulder.
give us a wonderful comment and give us 5 stars or give us a like and all that kind of thing. I think it was 5 stars. Is that like Apple
I
and all
think
that
so,
kind of thing?
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think so, yeah.
And of course,
Give us
if
the
you're watching
best
us
of
while
everything.
driving, that's when you want. Don't do that. That's silly. Okay, you can totally, But anyway, what else? So yeah, like, subscribe on YouTube, and all that good stuff. And don't forget to go to salmonslap.com and buy our merch, because again, this show is costing us $1,000 a year.
No.
No, pounds.
That's £1,000 a year.
Okay,
That's not in dollars, for 1 second.
how's the pound? How's the pound doing right now?
I don't know. The way the government's going, I think it's.
You know what's funny?
tanking, is it
When I
not?
was in Ireland, the euro was less than the dollar, so things actually cost me less. than it
So
would
it's,
normally.
nice.
it's about $1,200 a year.
Oh, fair enough. All right, so
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, and do we have any assholes to talk about?
Oh, we do, but I don't know who it was. It was one of yours, David.
It was indeed.
It was one of you,
indeed.
yeah.
It's a good thing
Oh,
I have.
wait, I
I have
just realised
notes.
I was supposed to say that, wasn't I? Were
Oh,
you just fishing for me to say that?
All right, we have Caroline Cohen. She's an Irish girl. She just passed her class 1 license. Is it called
Is it
class
called
1?
a Class 1 in Ireland?
I've no idea.
It's the
I
same
thought
thing,
you
isn't
guys
it?
is it the same? I have no idea. Yeah, basically she reached out to me and she wanted a little bit of help. She noticed that on my channel that there wasn't any videos on backing around a corner. I never thought of doing that, because that's actually something that they have to do in their in their test. I'm like, oh, okay, well, cool, no problem. So I got she told me where she was going to be doing the test, so I got an aerial photograph of that testing area, and I threw it into my game, my European trucking skills.com. All right, shut the fuck up. All right.
We are angry today. Jeez.
Wow.
And
David
I
is
was
bringing the
able to
sass.
add it into the game, and I gave her a personal video on how I would do it, and she was very grateful.
That's cool.
And, yeah, and
That is really cool,
That is
actually.
very good.
know,
I
That's
like
like
that.
above and beyond. That's very
actually,
cool.
I think I actually gave her the game too, to be honest with you, and so she got to practice it herself too.
God damn.
Oh,
I know, right? Hey,
David.
fellow
I like
Irish
it, I
girl,
like
I
it.
gotta. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Is it just me, Chloe, or is every
Yes.
other country doing better or teaching more stuff on the HGV, like on like
What, than
Class 1
England?
stuff, than England? We seem to be taking
What, so that
shit
everyone
away.
went to David?
I would say give it like another couple of years. And do you know that like comical, like the Indian like driving test where they have to drive
Right.
like 40 meters forwards and then like reverse a meter or something, and that's it. They've got the test. They do it all in like they can do it in like 30 seconds. I think it might
Well,
be
that's
India
it.
or somewhere like that. It's somewhere like ridiculous. I genuinely think that the British HGV test is going to be like that. But we are going to have to do a lot more like work, as in like classroom work. So we'll have to be able to point out where drugs are on like a point and click adventure.
yeah.
And
Like a big
yeah.
game.
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
The
So
one thing I would wish they would bring in more though is about the tacho, because you never get taught that in your lessons and things.
I'll be honest with you, it did take quite a while for it to sink in with me. I don't know if it did with you.
Yeah, but is it because it's like you don't actually get taught any of it? You literally just go, right, that's it, you've passed. Here's your lorry, go. And you don't actually like the first one I
There's
had to
the
get
mod
in was
4,
a paper
isn't there?
tacho. Yeah, but it doesn't
When
really
did you-
explain
when did
anything.
you-
Every
How
time
many
you say
years ago
taco, I
did
think
you-
you're talking about Mexican food.
No, it's not Mexican
Tacos.
food at all.
Do you know what, when I first started work, someone said, "Oh, he's just on his taco break." I was like, "A taco break? Why is he going for tacos? Where the fuck are tacos?"
That lad loves Mexican food. You do not disturb him on a taco break. He's got to go mental at you, son.
No, I passed about 5 years ago. So, but yeah, the first
Okay,
truck
yeah.
I got in was the paper one, and I was like, "What do I do?"
Oh, wow.
No
A
idea.
Frisbee.
Yeah, literally frisbee. I was like, "I don't know."
I
what to
remember
do.
those. My dad had a bus company, so I got to see a lot of the tachographs lying around all over the fucking place.
Oh, okay.
The correct term is Frisbee, because, let's be honest, the second that anything went wrong with it, that fucker's going out the window, isn't it? Let's move on to our first topic, I'd say.
Oh yeah, and then don't forget,
DVSA,
if
don't
you
pull me
want
over.
to, if you want to support us as well, we have a Patreon right now. So you can go
Ooh,
to
yes.
www.patreon.com/JATP, as in Just Another Trucking Podcast, but the acronym JATP. There we
Like
go.
it.
And I'm going to stop now. I don't think I'm going to ask for any more money or plug anything else. Do you want?
You get extra stuff if you
Should
do a Patreon. We don't.
Yeah.
You just don't just pay us.
We,
You do
we have
get
yet
extra
to figure
stuff.
out exactly
Yeah.
how
There will
we're
be
going to do
more
stuff and
yeah.
what perks there is and all that kind of stuff. So,
But you
So,
would,
yeah.
you will, if you do, you will be supporting. You'll be supporting the channel. You'll be supporting the podcast.
Yeah.
You'll be supporting.
And we'll
Supporting
definitely
what we
be giving
do
you a
here
shout
and-
out at the very least.
Yeah, at minimum, yeah.
eventually, I'll be able to refund myself for buying your green screen.
Oh yeah, 'cause we need to add that to the cost. So, Oh, also, well, Merry Christmas to everyone, because we're only a week away.
Ooh.
It's 1 week, and that's it. We're into Christmas,
Right, and then our next podcast that you'll be
literally
hearing will be
is.
after Christmas. When
we'll
do
be
people
very
actually go back to
merry.
work in England as truck drivers? Do they take the entire week after Christmas off?
I am
truck drivers-
I'm working Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
So
throughout
maybe we
Christmas.
should put
Oh, are you? Okay.
the next podcast on like the Wednesday instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh,
most people
well-
will be working Wednesday. Yeah.
Well, some people might want to watch it on Boxing Day.
Yeah. We'll still put
Listen,
it out.
I'm just saying, there will be people out there that would rather listen to us than their mother-in-law. That's just a fact. I'm just saying that's a fact. That's the fact that
So are we going out as normal?
no one here said, "Oh no, that's not true." We all know it. We all know it. Let's be honest. Let's move on.
Oh,
Let's hope
yeah,
this
let's
was all
move
on
on.
TV, because
Before we get
otherwise
each other
that's
in
not
trouble.
great. I've got a question for you guys.
All right.
Go on in.
shoot.
Bring it.
So,
I'll pretend that I have no idea what you're talking about.
No.
and to pretend that I didn't ask this on Wednesday. So I actually stole this one.
I actually
if I'm
forgot
honest.
about it.
Did you actually? Oh shit!
Yeah,
It's not going to
I've
go
got
well
come
for
up
you,
with
is it?
Oh no.
Are you going to have to come up with it on the fly?
No, I've just got to do a bit, little
Well, just
memory
say-
boost.
say-
Some
Just
prep
get
work,
on with
right.
it. Go on.
Yeah,
go
get on with it.
What
Get on with it.
is a butterfly moment from your life? So a butterfly effect moment. You know that's the kind of that thing of a butterfly flaps its wings in Paris and creates a tornado in Albuquerque, say. Because
Right.
Well,
what
technically,
happens-
everything that we're doing is a butterfly effect. But you're just
Well, absolutely.
basically. Are you at? Maybe I don't know the question.
So I'm saying one moment where you could have made one decision or another decision, and there is a linear progression of events that led to where you are here today, or led you into a certain position, or kind of that led to where you are here. Something that you decided, a decision. Someone came up to you in the street, and if you'd walked past them, that you wouldn't be where you are now. I'll do mine as
Go
an
on.
example.
Go on.
So, one Christmas, my mum had asked me what album. Cause I think I explained. I didn't grow up rich. Let's be honest. We were a poor family, and I was able to get an album, and there was one that was out that year, which was an Eminem album, and there was a Chemical Brothers album. And I could have got either one of them too. And she'd asked me which one I wanted. And I went for Chemical Brothers. And I think because of that, I got into more electronic dance music, which got me into more of a different... When I moved out of my house, I got into a very different social scene and clubbing and that kind of thing, which led me to go travelling, which made me become a bit of a hippie, if I'm honest.
Hippie.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I was a proper hippie. Proper hippie. I think a lot of the truckers probably wouldn't have got along with me back then. I don't think I would have got along with me back then, but that's a whole different thing entirely. But I think that led me to go into America, it led me to go into Italy, to go into all these places and getting life experience. And it also led me to, after I left America, there was a point where here's something that I actually haven't really told people before. I was homeless. I got back from America.
Or? Yeah.
I was homeless. I went into a young person's shelter.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Did
you have to take up 2 beds because you were so tall?
Exactly. Yeah. No, basically it was like an at-risk thing.
How do you fit in a sleeping bag? Actually,
Not well.
Just get extra
Not well. I
Lincoln.
can tell you that right now. Not well. It's you normally have to get 2 of them. That's a joke, by the way. But you have to get the longer ones.
Right. Okay.
But no,
Go on.
and
Wow.
through that.
That is interesting. I understand. So basically, as in like, if you, God knows what your life would be like right now if you had the M&M, you could be on the streets rapping with your fellow
Who knows?
rappers.
I mean, I think it would have put me down a different line because
Absolutely.
and it would, and I think it would have put me into a different social scene. I'm not saying that I'm any better or worse for what it is now. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's taken me a lot of hard work to kind of get where I am and kind of recover from it. And I think that's why I've kind of got a bit of a leftist view of that these government projects where they look after people and like trying to kind of get people, because that it worked for me. And I pulled my life around, and I kind of made something of it, and yeah.
You got something to
But
show for
again,
it, yeah.
I genuinely think it all started with that CD.
But you never know. As in, like, if you went the other path too, you could have, well, obviously went a different path, and they're like, hey, there's a lottery ticket right there. And then you would have ended up winning the lotto. You know what I mean? You never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
All
I'm
you
not,
know
I'm not
is
saying...
that is by going this route, you definitely wouldn't have gone to America probably or whatever. You know, you definitely would have been traveling and all that kind of stuff. No, I hear you. I think I know the answer. I think I know what I'm going to. Okay, mine was all right. So you know, on a window on your computer, that little the X button. All right, it was the push of an X button. So basically, my hobby.
Wow, so this really
It's like
is a
really
tiny
simple.
moment.
So yeah, and I remember this moment so vivid. So I had when I first had the internet. All right, it was back in 1998 or something or whatever, right? Okay, that's when my computer finally got it. And so I used to be addicted to chatting on Yahoo Chat. It was like I was addicted to it. I couldn't wait till 6 o'clock until because you got charged per minute.
Yeah.
For the internet.
Yeah.
And it was a lot cheaper at nighttime than it was during the day. But anyway, so I used basically, so I go to a chat room, and this is before all the spam and all that kind of stuff. All right. So basically, when you were talking to somebody, you were really talking to people. So I'm like, hey, anybody here want to talk to an 18-year-old male from Ireland? And then pop. You know, a bunch of different private messages.
ASL.
All right?
ASL.
Do you remember that or not? ASL.
I remember MSN.
ASL question mark. From
age, sex, location.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm like, what the fuck is ASL?
ASL question mark.
Yeah,
You used to always get that in the chat. And in chats, didn't you?
So every night, I would be up late every night talking to people randomly. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? I had college in the morning, or I can't remember what it was. It was work, whatever. I needed to go to bed. It was really, really late. So I had so I was like, okay, I already spoke to you. Oh, I don't need to talk to you. I didn't say hello to this person yet. And so I went ahead and I clicked the button, but I didn't. I held the button down. So I moved it off. All right. And I let go and I said, hello.
Yeah.
And it was my future ex-wife. Yeah. So by doing that, I ended up talking to her a lot. It was like every day. I was always chit-chatting, and then eventually we ended up talking on the phone. And then a few months later, after that, I went to America to visit her again. And then a few months after that, she went to Ireland to visit me. I got her pregnant when she came to visit me. So, and then a few months more later after that, I moved to America. And then 2 weeks after that, I got married. You know,
wow.
And 2 years after that, became a truck driver. Year after that, divorced. Then I actually became homeless, by the way, because I couldn't afford.
Wow.
It was an option for me because I had a truck, semi truck I can live in. So it's because I was still paying her for everything. You know what I mean? Because she was still basically a stay-at-home mom, and that way she got to focus on the kids. And I didn't need an apartment. I was like, hey, I'll just come by once in a while and shower, you know. But whatever. And so basically, that's there's my moment.
So you possibly would still be in not in America, in Ireland, basically.
Yeah, God knows. I'm more than likely I would have been in a different country than Ireland, because I think most Irish, as soon as they're 18 or as soon as whatever, they take a gap year and they go off to a different country. Like both my brother and sister are actually Australian citizens. All right, you know, as in like so. people.
I just
Irish
wanna-
have a tendency of scattering.
I just
That's
want to
cool.
kind of quickly go back to what you were saying there. Whenever we chat about some of your past, it breaks my head as to how similar the beats are with my life and your life.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So when I went to America, fuck me, honestly, it's crazy. So I think it was like a little chat room. Again, just basic chat room thing. I think it might have been called like Teen Chat or something like that. And but it was just like a very simple, like text-based sort of chat room. And I just got talking to a lass on there one night from America, talking away to her. And yeah, she was the reason I went to America. Exact
Wow.
same thing. And she became my wife. And my ex-wife.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it's weird, mate. The fucking
Your
beats are
your wife's
weird.
your wife's American.
No,
your ex-wife's
my-
American.
One of my
Ex-ex.
ex-wives, mate.
How many? You've had. I didn't
I've had
realize.
two wives.
Oh,
Oh, that's a new
Yeah.
light there.
okay.
Yeah.
That's.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay.
No, mate. Honestly, I moved to America, and I've got a kid with her as well.
That's
The
funny.
beats are wild.
Wow. We watched the same
Just move
YouTube
back
videos.
eventually, that's all.
Yeah. It's yeah. Fuck me. It is strange how yeah. Anyways, that's we're getting sidetracked. Chloe,
nuts.
come on. You've got have one by now.
Mine's not going to be anywhere near as exciting as you guys. But basically, I love my job where I'm in now. I never saw myself in this position, so I was working on farms and just doing sort of cash in hand work, things like that. And then me and my partner at the time wanted to get a house, so I was like, okay, I need to get a proper job. So basically, I just went, right, throw in my CV anywhere and everywhere, whatever, just apply for it. And then I just randomly got the phone call to say, basically, you're exactly what we're looking for. This agency, it was through an agency that I got my job, and they were like, you're exactly like the last Weybridge girl, and they loved her. They want you.
Yeah.
And I was like, they were like, oh, don't say no yet. They were like, it's on a waste transfer site. I was like, nope. I literally, that was it. I was like, no thanks. I don't want to do it, thank you. And she said, no, listen, it's in the office. I was like,
That point right
Don't-
there is it.
yeah. That
That's-
was because I literally already was like, nope, don't want to do it. I was already up for like, nah, I'm
Yeah.
about to put the phone down. And she was like, no, please listen. She was like, it's on the Weybridge. I was like, right, what's that entail then? She was like, you weighing in and out trucks. I was like, oh, okay. Actually, I could see myself doing that because I've always been on farms, things like that. This is going to be my first office job. So I was like, actually, that will probably suit me, proper job. I was like, okay, I'll go for an interview. Anyway, turned up for the interview, got the job. I was like, don't know how I got the job, but I got the job. Turned up, and I've not looked back since. And that was one of those moments where I pretty much said no. And then I was like, yeah, go on then. Actually, yeah, I'll give it a go. And then through that, I've been there 8 years now. I've managed to get my class 1. I cover my boss and things like that and do, transport management side of stuff. I do all sorts. And I never would have seen myself in this position. I always just thought I was going to be like basic farm worker, just doing that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm well chuffed, well proud of myself.
I don't think I would be in the position I'm in with the real reason why I'm a truck driver is because of a flood.
Yes, you said.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's so strange how like there are these little moments where again it's just about listening. So just letting someone speak for a second and kind of just listening to what they say, or it's deciding to talk to someone of an evening and just chat a little bit longer. It's just the strangest little things where you can pinpoint a moment in your life and you look back and you can kind of say, wow, from that moment there, that then led up to all of these different things. And what I want to do with this, because I think this is a really good one for, I was thinking, I wonder if there's a way of us getting
Time
Voice
machine.
notes.
I want to kind of get some voice notes so we can actually
Yeah.
play some of these.
I
Because
reckon we could do
I
it.
would like to start playing some like things that people actually send to us. But either way, I want to hear some of your stories out there. If you get time to pull over, let us know your little butterfly effect moment. That one little tiny event that changed your life for the better or for the worse. Because these things don't always work out. But I'll be honest with you, I've had some ups and downs in my life, but fuck me, I wouldn't change it.
There's so many of them. Like,
Yeah.
I
When
was
you
just thinking.
start
I was
about
just
it.
I was just thinking about one there. Where I was watching this YouTuber, something Nash or whatever, I can't remember. But he had this game that he was promoting, and it was his game. It was called Daddy Carpool or something like that. Basically, you're driving a minivan and you're collecting stuff, and it's just a scrolling game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you're just and the screen's just going down. You're staying there and just going left and right, whatever. And I was like, wow, how did he do that? As in, like, I'm kind of curious. How is he have his own game? As in, like, so I started looking into it, and like, I thought only big companies could have games. You know what I mean? And I was like, wait a second. So I looked it up, and then I was like, I'm like, freelancing. Hold on, that's just. And then I heard a thing called Fiverr.com, and I was like, oh my god, people can, the game that I came up with this game years and years and years ago, and I just didn't know it was it was an option to actually hire someone to make your game. You can actually pay someone from a different country. So that was just that one moment where it just dawned on me. I was like, holy! So I've got him to thank for basically, as in, like, sparking the idea that my game can actually be created. Because I tried learning it myself. I tried learning the code and everything. I was like, nope, done. God, not gonna be doing that. But anyway, yeah, it was just that one little moment changed everything for me.
That's cool.
Something that I have noticed since, and I don't know if you guys have this, but when you used to watch YouTubers or listen to podcasts, it always sounds, I don't know, there's something about it where the people kind of sounds like it's ultra professional and it's ultra this. I don't know. So I did a little thing on BBC Radio Cumbria this week. It's not a plug for anything. It was like a little 5-minute interview. I'm on their calling list now as a truck driver, so occasionally they'll call me up to talk about some bollocks. But I always feel really nervous.
And there are so many better people for that job than you.
I know, tell me about it. But when I was on there, I remember being like, I was super nervous. And obviously, I do this, but it just seems more professional than what it would have been. But then people who come on here, guests that we get, because we seem like super professional stuff. But the thing is, when you actually start getting into it, you actually start to realize, you start to look at all of the little bits. And I think it also translates to truck driving as well. What I'm talking about, when you actually look at the truck drivers and you actually see them. So if you are like a new, if you're just learning, you're beginning your thing, and it kind of seems like this far off goal of like, wow, they're on a pedestal. But when you get there, you're like, God damn, we're scum of the earth. I mean, and it's on that same thing of it's a bit like is it FTX, that cryptocurrency that went belly up and. Yeah, have you heard about this, Chloe?
Oh
no!
Like, it's massive news, massive. Basically, this cryptocurrency, and millions and millions have been lost with it.
Billions,
billions.
Dude, he had $1 billion company, and it's gone.
Where people have just lost it.
But it's funny how we look at people, we put them on pedestals, and like, wow, look at how amazing that person is. But when you actually get there, you're like, God, these people know nothing. We're all just the same. We're just winging it. Everyone's just winging it.
It is weird. Sometimes I got this comment one time, and like it was like, basically he was extremely happy that I replied back to him and back and forth. And like and he said he was a fanboy of me, and like I'm just being a fanboy right now, and I'm kind of geeking out. I'm like. I'm just a dude.
I get it.
There is nothing special about me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I just happen to have a lot of history in truck driving, and I'm not even great on camera when I'm doing my thing. As I'm like, but it was kind of like, ooh, weird. You know what I mean? As I'm like, but
I get it when I guess you get it as well, Chloe, when you reply to people.
I've had it a few times.
And they're like,
yeah.
wow, thank you so much for replying. I'm like, you know,
can't
I'm just
believe we
some
replied.
bellend
It's like, what?
who drives trucks and talks on camera for a while.
Literally.
I am not
I'm nothing
special. I am just, all I do is just wing this.
Yeah,
The fact
I
that
get one.
look
I get one
professional
comment
is-
today, and I get an alert on my phone saying I've got a new comment. And like, of course I'm going to reply. You know, especially if it's a question or something. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. Don't worry, we're not getting millions of comments every day, and I just picked yours out of a hat. All right, not saying you're not special, but you know, as in like, but anyway, yeah.
I think the lesson is here: we all just wing things, and
Yeah.
we all just try
Big
our
styling.
best.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
What was the original topic here?
It's your butterfly effect. It was your
Oh,
topic.
that was right. Yeah. Oh, what's my topic actually? Yeah, that's right. That's true. Right.
It got really touchy-feely, that one.
It did actually. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. Shall we move on to you, Chloe? And
Yeah, well, to be fair,
mobiles?
I was getting sentimental this week. And everyone I
this is
spoke
going to be
to...
a really sentimental podcast, isn't
I
it?
don't know why. So basically, I was at my mum's the other day, and she's got her phone. When I was little, she wanted Indiana Jones as her mobile ringtone, and
And you
she couldn't
wouldn't.
find it anywhere. I don't know why she wanted it. Like she couldn't find it anywhere, and I was just like heard it the other day, and I was like, oh my god, I remember making that for her. Do you remember getting it in magazines or
Right,
looking on the
but-
internet?
How do
for
you-
the
how do you
jingle?
make
right.
it?
Let's back up a second, because when you're saying ringtone, you're not talking like
Oh, not
you know,
not like
an MP3.
nowadays.
you're
I'm on
talking
about
of like the proper
the
old
proper
school
ringtones.
ringtones.
Yeah,
like
where
just
you'd
the
have
noises.
to go in a magazine and you'd have to pay for one, or you'd learn how to make it, and there'd be a certain option to make it, and you'd go on, and then you'd have to follow all the right numbers in a direct or like certain order, and it'll make a ringtone. And
There
I was
was
like,
a website the way you could go to.
yes,
and you could get
that
them
was
free.
it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
Um,
no, I was.
There was a free one.
I
There
made
wasn't.
it.
They weren't always as good as the ones that you get from the magazines, and like the keys would be a little bit off, but they were pretty solid. Like, yeah.
But yeah, no, it just suddenly was just like, oh my god, like Logan's never gonna know this. Like he just picks up a phone now and he's just like, yeah, blah blah blah, and it's just like he's never gonna know like the fact we had like a old Nokia and you had to go on your little magazine, your favorite magazine at the back, and I had like a little horse galloping in the distance. And you'd have this
Do you know what?
tiny little like screen that just has a picture.
Do you know how kids now show like where when you say like you're on your phone and you put your just for
Yeah,
those people
you
who
do
are listening,
that.
you put your pinky out. Yeah, you can't say that
Yeah.
on the podcast because people are listening.
Oh right,
aren't they?
okay.
You put
yeah,
you put your pinky and your thumb out and you put it to your ear because that's phone.
yeah.
But what they do now is to put the palm of the hand and put that to the phone because it's a
Interesting.
flat device.
Do
I've
they?
never-
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never seen that.
I can't remember where I was watching that. Or
Oh my
it
god.
was on something, but I don't know if that's like
I feel-
an international thing, but
It
in
might
certain
be.
parts of the world, that is what they're doing now. With
I feel like
with
just
this.
you know, like you have to do
Oh
something
yeah,
with your finger.
The phone,
Yeah,
yeah,
wait, you know what I
sometimes.
mean?
Yeah.
The palm of your hand and then pressing with your finger
Like-
again, like
and-
yeah.
Scrolling.
Because
yeah.
isn't that what we do? We
Yeah.
basically swipe up. Swipe.
I have a question for you.
Wow.
As your kids, has your kids ever tried to swipe your TV?
No.
Okay, mine did.
Oh,
I had it
no.
where it came up, and you know when you've been watching YouTube on your TV,
Yeah.
and then it'll finish, and it'll be the next. It'll be like
Yeah,
the next
yeah.
suggested videos. Well, he came
Yeah.
up and he swiped. He started swiping, and he did not. We had to explain to him, this is not a touching.
What
And
do
he
you mean
just-
not a touchscreen? I don't
Well,
understand
exactly, and he's like,
What's not a
what do you
touchscreen?
mean this is not a touchscreen? It's a screen. Surely I can touch this.
It's when you go to. So my dad's still got a DVD player and all that sort of thing, and Logan's like, "What? What?
What do you
like,
mean
"Where's
you can't
Netflix?
immediately
get
get
Netflix."
whatever film you want instantaneously?
Do you remember the first time you had a DVD?
I remember the first time I had a tape.
Matrix.
I was well excited about that.
The
Well,
Ma-
yeah,
Everyone, a lot of people's was the Matrix.
Yeah, the
Was it?
Matrix.
because it came with
and-
with Sony, the PlayStation or something.
Oh no, I got it, and it was a really fancy one. It was like a cardboard thing, and it had like a little clip on its side, and it opened up. It was fucking
Ooh.
amazing. I watched that so many times. But then there was always. Do you remember the DVD menus where it
Mhm.
would play like about 5 seconds of music
And repeat.
again and again and again
yeah,
and
yeah.
So
again?
The other thing that came up is obviously this DVD player. Do you remember the old "You would not steal someone's handbag"? And then
Oh,
like,
My
yes.
God.
and you'd get the
Yes,
hope.
yes, I've stolen many handbags. What are you
You
talking
would
about?
not steal someone's phone, and it's this proper old Nokia, like just being nicked. You're just like, oh my god, like this is.
Oh my god, the
yeah,
Matrix
this is-
banana phone. Do you remember that? Like the
Oh,
one that
yes.
flipped
Oh,
out,
yeah.
and everyone was like, if you had the phone that the bottom flipped out, you were the business. You were the
What an
business.
expensive commercial that was. You know
Do
what I
you
mean?
remember getting charged when you went to the video rental store
Yes.
for not rewinding?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Be
Even
kind
just
and
going
rewind.
to Blockbuster
Yeah.
and just getting a video out.
Oh no, for us it was Spa. We had like our
Oh, you
the
had the
village
Spa?
spa, and like
Yeah.
there was, and I remember going there because. Yeah, as you walked up, there was the frozen section at the back, and the entire wall of the frozen section was just. And I always remember looking because there was Pinhead. If you remember that film, I never watched
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
I always didn't like that one, and I went to go and find like the land before,
Land Before Time. Love that film. Classic.
so good. Yeah,
It's a cartoon thing with dinosaurs, wasn't it?
Yeah.
fucking
yeah.
amazing. What do you
That's
mean? It was the
amazing
cartoon
film.
and Fantasia as well. Although I think it scared me as a
Fantasia.
kid.
Fern Gully was my favourite.
What was
Fern Gully.
Fun
You
Gully?
not watch Fern Gully?
No,
So-
what's that?
Oh, it's like this little fairy, and then there's Christian Slater as one of the voices, and
Wow.
he turns little, and it's
Really?
got what's matey? He plays Batty, Robin Williams in it as well,
Batty.
I
and
remember
Tim
Flubber.
Curry in it.
Really?
It's got Tim. Yeah,
God
you have to
damn.
watch Fern Gully.
This is
It's
like-
so good.
It sounds familiar. I
Gully.
probably have seen it.
yeah.
So, okay, this is when it was tapes too, of course. You know.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So my dad, he brought back from England a dual VCR. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So we weren't allowed to rent something and not record it. All right. So we always had to make a copy.
Oh wow.
So I was
Wait.
doing illegal piracy
you have
before it was cool.
Wait, did you have one of the VCRs that had the dual, like the recorder
Yeah.
and the? Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember I had
But-
a
That's
friend who had one
special.
of them. It was really cool. It was
Yeah.
like I was like, that's fucking amazing.
So yeah. My dad's a good man though. He is, you know. But I think more than likely I probably asked for it because I think I did Jimmy rig it a little bit. Two other ones where there was the proper cables and everything, and of course, you know, so I was able to do that. I think he just made it easier for me. He probably knew I was going to go into a life of crime, you know, but you know, it just kind of aided me along.
Just getting you ready. Yeah,
Right,
no, that
but,
was
so, like-
exciting. And you
Yeah,
even had
so
the
getting
the
blank tapes
DVDs.
for Christmas was a
Yeah.
good thing.
Oh really?
You know, oh yeah, absolutely. And you can make a, you know, because you got to choose when you're playing it too, like half the speed or double the speed. You know, so you could make a 3-hour tape, a 6-hour tape if you wanted to.
Wow.
All right, you had that option and playback or something. But
That's just crazy, isn't it?
I had a Master System.
Sega Master System,
What, like the
Oh,
stereo?
Sega.
Oh, Sega.
Oh yeah, it was so good. That was the console. I had it for. Oh, it was so good.
No, well, there was another one too. There was the Master System and another. Was it
the
the
Mega Drive?
Mega Drive, which is called
Yeah.
a Genesis in America, by the way.
I know. I am
Okay.
aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I found that very weird. So you had a Master System.
We had the original
Right.
Game Boy, you know, the black and white Game Boy. That was
I had one of
good.
those. I had
That was
one of
good.
those as well. Yeah.
So that was my Game Boy. That's what I had because I never had so I had my master. No, I had my Mega Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I got a Game Boy, like the big grey Game Boy.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
by getting my nan bought me attachments for it, so I had
With the
The little light on it as well, yeah.
the light and the little
Yeah.
The magnifying glass to make the
the
screen
Yes,
bigger.
magnifying
yeah,
glass,
that one as well,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, it's so good. And I had I remember I had cannon fodder, and then I remember one Christmas I got a purple Game Boy Color.
Wow.
And I
Ooh.
got Zelda with it, and I was obsessed with that game. I played so much of that game. There are going to be people who listen to this and they're not going to know what I'm talking about, but I didn't know this became like quite a known thing, but I found out you could steal from the shop. Have you played
Thomas.
Zelda?
Oh, no,
What
I
on the
haven't.
game? I thought you meant in real
the
life.
game?
I found out I
not
could go
in real
stealing
life.
things.
Obviously,
in real life,
you could do that. You found out that you can actually steal something.
Have you
That's-
played-
that's-
have you
am I the
played
first
Zelda?
person ever to steal something? Wow, what have I
Yeah.
created here?
I'm a genius. Have you played Zelda or not?
No,
I've never played
Zelda.
it. No.
I don't. I hated. I hated anything that you had to read.
I
I used to love
out by
Spyro.
accident.
Spyro is good.
Spyro's.
Hey,
I played
Tom.
that a little bit of that.
Before we drift off onto whatever it was, I'm just curious. You're talking about computers. What's the history of your computers? Like, what was the first computer, and then one after that? Because I think most people have that history or whatever, right? Like, what was your first?
So we obviously
You have the one with floppy disk. Do you remember them as well?
Oh yeah.
Go on.
it was. I mean, I think I was. I don't know what age I was, but it was. I remember when we moved to another house, and I think we must have started getting a little bit more money than what we'd had when I was young. So we'd got like a proper computer, like one of the ones that you see in the catalog, and it had everything. Like it had is it Encarta?
I think.
Do you remember that?
Encarta.
Encarta, the where
Sounds familiar.
it was like it was an encyclopedia on a disc. But I think it might
Oh,
have
right.
Yeah, and you could go and
Yeah.
search whatever you wanted on it.
yeah.
And it had like the speakers and like had the mouse.
How old were
keyboard.
you?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you what age I was at that point there. But I
Like,
remember
was that what like for example now, right? Let me just my history is actually I started off with the Pong where I had a little knob. When I say you know what I mean, so where it was just tennis and all that kind of stuff, and then I had the Atari 2600. All right, with the one button with the one red button and the joystick.
I think it was a Pentium 2. But again, we're getting into like realms of people and not going to be knowing what we're talking about now.
And then I ended up I had a ZX Spectrum Plus, and that ran on tapes.
I remember that because I had a friend who had one of them.
Yeah,
I remember going around to his house, and he was like, "Oh, we're going to play this game on this thing," and I'm like, "Oh wow, that's amazing!" He showed me a picture of it, and he puts the tape in. I'm like, "Okay, well, let's play." Oh no, we have to wait for a while for it to load.
Yeah, and it took.
We just sat there waiting for it to load, and it was. I'm sure. Well, I don't know. It felt like half an hour. I don't think it actually was half an hour, but God damn it felt like a long time. I remember Stargate SG-1 coming on in the background and asking what that was. And he said, "Oh, it's something I don't really get. I've not really got into it." And then years later, I was like majorly in Stargate SG-1.
That is, I had the Amiga 600, which was basically a Commodore that had the floppies, and that was like So that was cool. Of course, and then PC. But I think there was a couple of consoles in there. There was like a Mega Drive in there somewhere as well, and with Sonic.
I remember my actual first computer was it was like a Compaq, or maybe no, it wasn't. It was a Gateway. If you remember Gateway,
okay. Yeah, black and white.
Yeah, it was a Gateway.
The logo, the cow or something.
And it was I'd bought a game called Startopia, and it didn't work.
Oh no!
And
did you blow into the disc?
Just... no, it did because I didn't have a graphics card. And I remember I was getting PC Gameplay magazine, and I used to read every page of it. I fucking loved it. I'd go and get it on a Saturday, and I'd read every single page of this magazine because that's how we got our information. And it came with demos, and it also came with updates.
Demos.
Because if you wanted to update your game, you couldn't go online. You'd have to go and get one of these magazines, because magazines were
a
where
big
you got
thing.
information.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God, I forgot about that.
And it was saying in this one about getting a graphics card, and I was like, oh, well, I need to go and get one. And so I went to a shop in my local town, and I think I'd called them up, and they'd said how much it was, and I'd got the money off my nan, and I had to get the bus into Kendal, which takes about like 30 minutes or so. I got off the bus by myself, and I remember thinking, "Oh, I'm in the town. I'm in the big town. This is like, I'm in the big
boy
town."
stuff.
I remember thinking, "I'm in the big town, and I'm by myself," and it was so weird. I remember kind of like I'd got an idea of where it was, and I kind of got a little bit lost because it was the big town, even though Kendall's not a big town. And I went to this computer shop called KTD, and I went in there, and I was just looking around in awe at this computer shop with all of these computers, thinking how fucking amazing this place was, and like how technologically advanced it was, and how just amazing. The guy got me this graphics card. It was a Voodoo 4.
How did
And
you
I
know
was
to
just
install
like,
it?
wow. It was so cool, and I ended up working there years later. And
Yeah?
it
Oh,
was
wow.
not what I thought it was. It was not as technologically advanced as I thought it was. I just, again, perception. It looks really cool,
Wow.
but it's not. So
No,
there you
that's
go.
cool.
God, we're just talking about our.
This
our
was,
past
I think,
lives.
started off with cell phones. One thing I wanted to.
Oh shit! It did, yeah.
The one thing I kind of wanted to bring up too with the cell phones, that's like the Nokia, like basically
Everyone had a Nokia. Yeah.
But how about those people that would check out their ringtones? Every single ringtone that they have, and it's nonstop playing in the background. Like, oh my god! Like I worked in a bar, and or was I can't remember if I was just hanging out or whatever. It was like they got their new phones, so they're just checking out all the different ringtones, and it's like, no, next one, and it was just so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
It was just yeah, I thought it was cool when they finally actually get that MP3s.
Did you ever
be it.
watch Trigger Happy TV with the giant phone where it goes?
Oh my god! I used to love
"Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo
That is some. Was it Balls of Steel? Wasn't that on Trigger Happy TV too?
Oh, I think so.
No, I think
it
it
was
was
so
some-
good.
Was is that a separate thing altogether?
Oh, I don't know.
Um,
I just remember the phone
but
bit.
there was also
It's the
what
same
was
guy,
that?
isn't it?
What was the Japanese betting game called?
Oh, I don't know that
Bonsai. Bonsai. Fucking love that show. It was on after. It was always on after Trigger Happy TV on Channel 4, and it was great. I loved that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do remember doing the ringtones. Yeah. And then do you remember the slide phones and then getting exciting flip phones and then all these advanced things and getting really excited about it? And now it's just
the Razor, the Motorola Razor.
Yes.
Oh my
Everyone had a
god,
Razor
I never
at some
had
point.
one. I just
Did you not?
because of texting. When I wanted to build a text without looking at the phone, so the buttons. I wanted to be able to feel the buttons.
Oh,
I couldn't feel the buttons on the Razor.
Yeah, they were like
Because it was
weird,
because I was using T9. Like seriously, I could have a conversation and just it was just that. But I could.
with it. Never
Huh?
quick with
Yeah, I was pretty good, even
Oh,
while
yeah.
driving before it was illegal.
it.
I wanted to keep my eyes on the road. All right,
You
so
wanted
it
a
was.
Brilliant.
Do you want to do your
Brilliant.
winter driving one, or do you want to move on to the film section there, David?
I'd say, well, winter drive. We already spoke of winter driving. As I said, right now it's really cold,
It is.
and
It is.
I'm
It
not
started
driving in
raining
it right
today.
now. There was a little, but you guys, I've seen some pictures from what it's looking at like in England, and it's pretty cold. Black ice. You
It
weren't
has been
you?
cold.
Did you say that there was some ice rain happening?
There was some actual ice rain happening by where we are. Yeah, yesterday because we were meant to go to the family do, and then we were going to do the podcast, and I cancelled. Then I said I'll do it again, and yeah, because we were going to do it yesterday, weren't we? Potentially, and my mate managed to get to work, but trying to get home and that was awkward. But she said she walked out the house and fell over. She walked to the car, like the whole ground was just like sheer ice where it had rained and just frozen. The car, like you said before, David, was just ice sheets all over it. It was just
Crazy.
nuts.
Now, if you're
Like
on
I said
YouTube,
about my Roro, it did the same as well, didn't it? It was leaking out water and it just a sheer ice.
here's a picture of this is in South Dakota. Did you see that picture in the group, by the way, guys, of the snow on those two semi trucks?
Yes, yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Wow, that was mental. I don't think I have been around America and all that, but I've never seen it that bad. But I've seen it so
Really?
bad to where there was like a couple of feet on my hood or my bonnet, and it was just absolutely mental. You know what I mean? But
We probably need to describe what we're talking about here for the audio listeners.
Oh, okay. Basically, there was like 4 or 5 feet of snow on top of two semi trucks that were
Yeah.
parked at a truck stop, and it was just like, it's just crazy.
buried.
Those trucks may have even gotten snow plowed on as well. You know what I mean? Because like snow plows will just push the snow anywhere, regardless if there's a truck there or not. But
it's
nuts.
absolutely bonkers. Like,
I've been
absolutely
stuck.
bonkers.
Like I was only like 100 miles away from home, and I was stuck in another town for 2 days because they had the road closed. It was just the ice rain was too bad.
Really?
And there was just
wasn't
inches
safe.
of ice on the actual road. So it was literally an ice rink. You know what I mean? So eventually they cleared it up, and
How
I managed
to clear up ice rain? Just salt?
gravel. Yeah, gravel and salt. Basically, just kept and then scratching away at it. De-icer, stuff that melts snow.
God
You know,
damn.
they had like 1,000 people with hair dryers, melting it. But then then the water would freeze again, and it was just that. So that didn't work. So they stopped doing that. But
I've not really had much. I got stuck in some snow last week, a little
Right.
bit, but that was in a quarry. The only thing that I've
which
really
is nothing compared to the mud that you have in your quarries.
Oh God, yeah, no, the snow's. Well, that was slightly, yeah, it was. I did get stuck a little bit, and then I was trying to rock and roll the truck, and then I'm like, it's not doing it, and then realized, oh yeah, I've not enabled it. That's probably why it's not doing it.
Yeah.
That might be it. Yeah. Yeah.
Why is it? Why can't you just rock and roll a Volvo? Why
They
do you have
don't
to
like
enable
it.
it?
Oh.
It doesn't like it, does it? It's to do with.
Is that's where
like
you're going
clutch
forward,
control?
then you're reversing, going forward. Is that what you're talking about?
No. So what
Rock
you
and
can.
roll, sorry.
So if those people are listening, if they don't know what we're talking about, if you're in a Volvo and Mercedes don't have it enabled as well by default, but if you parked, you press your on the Volvo, pressing your right button, the one that you can go up and down through the menus, press it in, go down to vehicle, and I'm trying to think what it's called in there. There's vehicle settings, but there's basically, if you go into the settings and you have to be stationary to do it, it's called rock roll or something to that. That's that thing. So it's disabled by default. If you enable it, when you put down a little bit of power, the second you take off the power, it'll let it roll backwards as far as it wants. Whereas normally the gear will kind of slow it down and it'll stop it. And so what you can do is you can roll forwards, let it roll backwards, and then you can put some power back on, and you can kind of build up some momentum backwards and forwards.
Okay.
And what you're doing is you're packing down the snow or the mud on either side, and then when you you'll kind of, as you're doing it, you'll feel it, and you'll feel like there's a little bit of like, oh, I've got some momentum this time, and you just fucking jam down.
Plow it.
Or maybe not jam down, but kind of put a bit more power than you were doing, and you'll come out of it and then just go
Plow
for it.
on
Like,
through. Yeah.
And but it wasn't doing it at first. But you
Mm-hmm.
don't
And
you
that
don't
was
put it
why.
back into reverse. Yeah, it was because
That's
it wasn't
interesting.
enabled.
They would do that. I've never heard of that. An actual option on the dashboard or whatever that the truck would do. Like, I've done the whole, going forward, then putting into reverse. But it was like, go forward, stop, and then put it into reverse,
Well, no,
Yeah,
and then go,
if you
because that's
rock
doing the same
roll-
thing.
Yeah, well, it is, but you're
It's more
losing
momentum,
each
isn't
time.
it? Yeah. Yeah.
And
'Cause
the
you want to be
idea
straight
is
up and down.
So it's when you've got like a little, when you're in a little rut in the snow, and what you can do is you just move forwards a little bit and just pack the snow down, and it'll come back, pack it down, and what you want to do is you want to kind of get yourself like, I like to give myself like 1.5 feet of movement, or maybe like a foot of
Before
movement,
really
something
going.
like that, and then you'll feel it, and you'll kind of, as you're kind of doing it, you'll kind of feel, oh, I've got some power now, I can fucking go for it, and you can kind of come up, and you'll feel you kind of get yourself out of it, and then you go.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the thing
Sounds
is
like the
with-
same thing, but
Yeah.
more manual on my part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your truck will actually, your truck should have in the options somewhere
Mhm.
an
My truck
ability
doesn't
to
have that.
actually turn on like rock roll. I mean, obviously it's better if you've got it on if you've got a manual.
Yeah, like
Because-
we don't in the automatics that we have now. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, or that's that. Well, my Volvo's an automatic. In fact, I've only ever had one manual truck. and that was a DAF. Fuck me, that thing.
Oh,
off
really?
The line. It's the only manual. It was a 3/3 with splits.
Oh my
Fuck me,
God.
that thing. I tell you
Sounds
what.
awful.
Oh no, it wasn't. I don't know if I might have said this before.
Is
If
this
I
the one you went
haven't.
through the mud in?
Oh, this is the one I went through the mud in.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, see, do you know when you get some lights, and like there's a van comes alongside you because the van's like, oh, I can take this truck.
Yeah.
So this is like a 530 brake DAF with a manual gearbox, and I'd got good at that gearbox. I'm empty. I've got no weight on at all, and he comes alongside me. And I'm like, not today. Bang. And the funniest thing is when he's got mates in the van, and they're like, he's leaving you behind. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I think I don't know. I might have said. I'm sure I've said this. I had like the lowest MPG in the fleet in that thing.
I bet you did. Yeah.
I'm sure.
This rental I've got is boots it.
Does it?
Great. Yeah, it boots it. You put your foot down and you're like, ha, you're not overtaking me.
The MPG of that vehicle was, I think it was either 3.5 or 4 miles per gallon I got out of it.
Oh my God.
Why do you guys use miles per gallon when you don't use gallons in an everyday basis?
I don't know.
Are you? Oh yeah, you use MPG, don't you, in America?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
We fuel by gallons, like how that's what the number is on the gas station.
Listen, why
That's just what it does.
I wasn't giving you a hard time.
Well, I feel like you are. I feel like you're judging us.
Well, I'm gonna give you a fucking hard time right now if you don't shut up. All right. Of course, your gallons are different size too. You got your US gallon and your.
Apparently, tons different as well.
Yeah,
Well, no,
You know that episode we were trying to work out
Yeah.
tonnage and we were completely off because there's 2 different tonnages going on.
Well,
Yeah.
no, so we use a metric ton.
Yeah, well, we use
So
an
it's
imperial
1,000 kilos.
I'm
but
sure
I
we
don't
were out or
I don't know what
something.
the other ton is. I know there is 2 different types of ton.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
it's just
yeah,
different.
I
I
don't
don't know.
Yeah.
I
All
don't
right.
know. We're not going
Let's
to
move on. Let's move on to the movie section. Now, one thing about the movie section is that we're supposed to have another movie already in the pipeline to watch to tell people. We haven't
this very
chosen that yet.
second I thought about. We're so disorganized.
Were we?
So
Oh,
we're
no.
working on it. All right. So we failed.
All right.
to come
It's
up with
Christmas. Elf.
Okay.
Fucking hate you so
Is that-
much.
No? Oh, it's the best film
No,
ever.
It's no, right. Oh my god, it's not the best Christmas film
Oh, is the one you just saw?
ever. It's Violent Night,
Oh my
which
God.
is on
Oh,
at the
God,
cinemas
what you've just
right
watched.
now.
Oh my
You
God.
need to go and watch it. If you can get to the cinema and watch that film, it is absolutely amazing.
No.
It's so good.
It looks good. I want to see it.
Oh, it's so violent. It's so violent.
Hence the name.
Oh my
It's
God.
there's this one. I love David Harbour. It's the guy off Stranger Things.
Oh, is
the
he in
sheriff.
it? Is he? Oh, awesome.
Well, he plays Santa, the sheriff.
Without any spoilers, obviously. I just feel like, just in case.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
go
People
on.
might be really excited for this film.
That's it. I'm just saying, as in, like, I'm asking you, don't give anything away.
Oh no,
David
he's on
doesn't want
he's on the
spoilers.
poster.
Yeah. I was just wondering, making sure you weren't going to go any further than, like, he's, like,
Doing such
Whatever.
and such. Or...
Yeah.
Oh, are we
This
talking
is how it
Stranger Things
ends.
or in the
in the Santa
In the
Claus movie.
film.
In the
David
Silent
right,
wants
no.
to watch
Violet
it.
Night.
He's Santa. He kicks the shit out of people. That's all you need to
Right.
know about it. You don't need to. And at one point, he goes, "Ho, holy shit!" Fucking
And
amazing film.
He's not a mall Santa either. He's actually Santa.
Oh, he's the
real
proper
one.
Santa. Oh,
Yeah.
no,
Really?
honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's from the people who made Nobody, if you remember that, with
Who?
Better Call Saul.
Oh,
What's
okay.
the guy who plays that?
No
so
idea.
good. Right, should we talk about the actual
Yeah, should we
film? that
actually
we're
do the
talking about
film?
this
Yeah.
week?
All right, so
Yeah,
the film
go
that
on.
we're talking about this week is Hot Fuzz.
Amazing.
And I
Yeah.
think is there anybody in England who has not seen Hot Fuzz?
It's actually funny enough. It's actually a crime to have not seen that film.
I imagine
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
you know, you got cops who pull people over for a random breathalyzer just to make sure they haven't been drinking, and you got and only
And then they go,
only
"Have
a
you
few
seen
miles
Hot
down the
Fuzz?"
road,
Yeah.
you got other
We
people
also need you to
who have to
quote one
ask
thing
questions
from
about
Hot
Hot
Fuzz.
Fuzz. Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh, it's amazing.
Um,
Yeah, we've just
yeah,
had a lot
so-
of people quoting it really when we said about it.
Mm-hmm. So,
For
what
the
are the
greater
comments
good.
that we've gotten from Hot Fuzz on the comment
Trench
section?
312 for the greater good.
for the greater good.
The greater good. Oh, Simon 27. Yarp.
Yarp. Oh my God.
I tell you what, I
Sander
say
Clegane.
that all the time. All the
Yeah.
time. Yarp.
Yarp.
Which is crazy that he's in Game of Thrones as Sander Clegane, the Hound.
Oh,
yes.
is he?
Yeah. You've seen Game of Thrones, haven't you?
No, I've not seen Game of Thrones.
Oh my God.
I don't want to.
So I thought
You want to.
No.
so here's some interesting so I just thought I'd kind of look up some trivia for it.
Oh,
Just over
okay.
here. So for the first draft of the film, it included a love interest for Nicholas named Victoria. And obviously, with the way that the director is, he wants to have he wants it to be as tight as possible. But they liked the lines that they used, but they didn't want to have her. Didn't feel like they needed a love interest.
Right, okay.
So they just gave Danny all of the lines. Most of the lines. Didn't change them, just gave most of them to Danny. So.
Oh no, that's
So
brilliant.
yeah, Nick Frost got like most of like these romantic lines. Just use them.
What are they? Which lines were they?
What were the lines
are you
were
gonna-
they?
It doesn't actually say which lines they were.
Way to research, dude.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite a good one.
It was a good one.
Right,
Would have been
but we
better
need
to
to know
find out
lines.
what these lines would have been.
Both the dog and the swan got credits. Got listed in the credits.
Did they?
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless them.
Let's see.
You want to be a cop in a small town? Fuck off up the Muddle Village.
Well, the thing I like about
Sorry.
that is something I
I
like
love
about,
that one.
Edgar Wright. I love how he tells you the plots of stuff. Like, do you know? I know it's a different film, but you know, Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you're told the plot of Shaun of the Dead, the very beginning of it.
Are you?
Are you?
Yeah, 1 second. I'll read it off.
Oh, what?
here.
Because they say what
Uh,
they're going to do, basically.
1 second.
They go, we're gonna do
Their goal
such
was to
and
get to the
such."
pub, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
then we're gonna sit down at the Winchester and have a pint, and then
And
they
that's what
change
they
the
did with
plans, and yeah.
Well, it's plot foreshadowing. Where is it? I don't know if I'll be able to find it now. But basically, he says something along the lines of, "We're going to have a Bloody Mary," and trying to think where it is now. Come on, they can find it. This is why we need a producer.
Maybe I'll
Yeah,
I'll just cut
basically,
the long pauses.
apologies. No, basically, he says that we're going to have a Bloody Mary, and the first zombie they kill, the woman in the back, she's called Mary. It says on a name
Oh.
tag.
Okay.
And
Oh, yeah.
so
yeah.
a bash at the king's head is his father-in-law, is his stepdad.
Yeah.
Who they have to bash his head in, and back here for shots at the bar when they use the gun at the bar. So they actually foreshadow the whole thing,
That's clever,
which
isn't it?
I like, and that's something that I
They
really
are
like
genius
about Edgar Wright.
films. They really are good.
So
They're
good,
so good.
so good.
So we're talking about Hot Fuzz, obviously. You know, what do we discuss about Hot Fuzz? Like, yeah, gets a
It's
10
good.
out of 10 from me. Or
Oh,
are we
yeah.
like, is there certain scenes that were just like the best?
What
You know what I
reminisce over?
You know what I mean? As in, like, what is this movie section part of the show? What are we doing?
I
don't
think
know.
what we're doing is we're just chatting about a film.
We're just talking about
We're,
it.
we're not.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
The fact is, we're not film critics. We don't know what we're talking about. All we are is just truck drivers that like a film, and I think
Mhm.
that's really it. That's what more. In the end of the day, what more can you ask for? Just chat about the film. I
Yeah.
mean, Out of curiosity,
Shaun of the Dead has taken over in my mind right now. By the way,
Is that all you can think of now?
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking about. I'm like, wait a second, Hot Fuzz. Okay, I got to talk about Hot Fuzz.
It's funny in all of the Cornetto trilogy, he jumps over fences.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Have you not noticed that? He does it in Shaun of the Dead, and
but
he does it in Hot
He
Fuzz.
says something as well. He's like, "What's the matter, Danny? You never taken a shortcut?" And then he runs at it, doesn't he? And he either makes it or he doesn't. Is it the World's End? Because he fails it, doesn't he?
I will say
in Fat Boy in Run Fat Boy Run, he jumps over a wall. It's a fictional wall. If you remember that one, Simon Pegg
smashes through it.
Does he smash through it? I can't remember. I just remember there's
doesn't he?
I'm trying to think that one there.
Have you not seen that? That's a great film.
Run Fat Boy Run.
Good.
I think he's in. He wants to do a marathon. He says he wants to do a marathon. So
it's where he's got the giant blister.
Oh really? I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen that.
And the mate, he pops it, and he's like, "It's never done that before," because it goes all over Guy's face.
Oh, that's
never happened
so
to
wrong
me
in so
before.
many ways.
Sorry, that was the first thing that came to my head. But yeah, no, it's so good.
I think probably one of my favorite parts of it is the dog scene where they're going out to. They say that there's been a complaint. This person's been cutting hedges that don't belong to him. That's it. You can go. And it's going along. It's fucking so good. He's going
then he's
along.
got to bring Matey and the dog, hasn't he?
Why do we need the dog? It's not the dog that we need. What did he say?
Oh my god, I forgot about him.
Oh,
I really should have. I really should. It's been a few years since I've seen Hot Fuzz. I've seen it a ton of times. Right now, I'm just like, can't remember every scene. You know, I keep thinking about when Timothy Dalton's character landed on a church, and he's got a toy church going through his jaw or going through the bottom of his mouth and pointing out, coming out his mouth. And like, oh, that's so gross.
It's just when he goes, "It really hurts."
my only thing is, and I remember watching. I'm trying to think what bloody film, what the TV series was. That he used to do, but like, I think Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Oh, so good.
They need to be in.
Oh yeah, they used to be. What was? Yes, I know the one you mean.
It's a TV series.
Yes,
and it's
was it
such
Outer
a shame.
Space or something it was called?
Spaced. That was it.
Spaced.
I don't remember this.
Yeah,
so
Spaced.
it was basically the precursor to what
the
you
Cornetto
see
trilogy,
the Cornetto trilogy. But I think they got a little bit too famous, and unfortunately Nick got left behind, didn't he?
Simon Pegg went off and did more. Yeah,
I mean, now Simon Pegg's off doing like Mission Impossible and stuff like that, and I watch him, and I love Simon Pegg. I'll watch him in anything, but the relationship, the friendship that them two have, it really comes through. Like you can kind of
good.
And you just don't get it in anything else, and it's such a shame that Edgar Wright can't make something like a big blockbuster, like with really high budget, and have them two in it, but have it very, very quintessentially just British. Because I mean, the thing is, I'm trying to think what the last
great duo was. Halo
World's End.
What was the last like properly British film that is internationally recognised? So obviously there's been British films where people
it's probably something really obvious right now, and people in their trucks are screaming the name of it, and we can't think of it.
I'd be curious. I mean, again, I mean, so like stuff like Harry Potter, obviously they came like, but I just don't feel like they just don't seem British today. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear you, because it's not. They just have English accents but there's nothing
it would
really
be like
English
Hot
about
Fuzz
it.
and that, wouldn't it? Really, Hot Fuzz? Is it not going to be that?
But
Shall we?
but it's been so long
A
since
British comedy.
there has been a proper British film where it's international. I mean, like stuff like Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels,
Oh,
where
right.
it is a truly British film. It feels British through and through, but you just don't get it anymore. Where it's
You don't have the same sort of storylines anymore, is there? It's all a bit more like action and graphics, whatever you want to call it.
Even in actually on that subject of that film that we're watching, the one gripe I had with that Violent Night was it had this scene at the very beginning in Bristol, in England, and it showed this pub in Bristol, and it wasn't Bristol. It just wasn't Bristol. That wasn't Bristol. But then it had like an American bar, and you know when you look at like on film, and like you look at an American bar, you can look at there's
tables are a lot higher in America.
There's such a difference.
It's not just that, but the bars are set up different as well. Like there's like glass, there's like mirrors behind it and stuff, and like you can just tell it's
Bristol.
not.
Yeah, you can tell.
But then the people started speaking, and the guy sounded Cockney at first, and then started sounding Australian ? I don't really know. It was very weird. And then the barmaid, she definitely sounded Australian. It wasn't British, whatever it was. And then they went up to the roof, and I'm like, yeah, that's America. That's somewhere in America. It's not Bristol. I know that for a fact. That's not Bristol because
it's a movie. It's a movie set in North Hollywood. You know?
Well, exactly, yeah, with snow, as you'd expect. But you just, I don't know, just not. Unless someone says otherwise, there's just not enough. I think there should be more proper British films,
proper British things,
where it feels quintessentially. Because I think audience worldwide, they do like that kind of thing. I mean, that's the reason why Lock, Stock and Smoking Barrels got like Snatch and stuff like that.
Any Guy Ritchie movie, I will literally watch any Guy Ritchie movie. Did
you watch King Arthur?
Yeah.
Was it good?
The one with Charlie Hunnam?
The recent-ish one. Was it last year?
No idea.
Oh, no, King Arthur. Who's in it? You got, I can't remember. Guy Ritchie. It sounds...
Yeah.
If I see the name Guy Ritchie, I'll watch it, regardless of whatever the movie is. Chances are I'll like it. And there was this recent one that came out there, and maybe that's what you're talking about. I can't remember what it was though.
2017. God damn.
Oh,
that's
wow.
that one. Was that? Well, yeah. Who's it got in it?
There's a ton.
Charlie.
Yeah. Okay. I've seen that. Yeah. Even Beckham made an appearance in that one.
Really?
Yeah, David Beckham. He has a small little role where he, even in slow motion, he is too. Yeah, he plays this. Basically, in the movie, they basically have any single guy at a certain age, and they have to pull the sword out of the stone. So you got hundreds of guys just waiting, in line to pull this. And of course, the person who's in charge of all this, is David Beckham. All right, yeah. And he's an asshole. Like, hurry up, get over here, whatever, blah blah blah. But in his
brilliant,
not so manly voice, we all know what David Beckham sounds like. But and then of course Charlie Hunnam, he basically or King or Arthur or whatever, right? He jumps to the line and he pulls the sword out of the stone, and then all of a sudden in slow motion you just see David Beckham, like get him or something. I can't remember what it was, but it was just yeah. And that was his only part in that. It was so weird, like. David Beckham?
That's really random. Yeah.
Fuck it. But it's all good.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie movies. I'll watch all of them. They're fucking fantastic. Love it.
In true standard, we've gone completely off topic with this and ended up somewhere just random as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. Hot Fuzz. That was us talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Maybe the next movie. Are we gonna choose now? Are we gonna do Elf? You didn't like Elf?
Yeah,
is that what you said, Tom?
No, we'll do Elf. Fuck it.
What?
It's Christmas.
Yeah,
what?
It is extra awesome. Elf.
My girlfriend will be very happy that we're choosing that film.
I know. That's why I've done it.
I'm gonna rewatch it. And another movie that I have a tendency of watching. My wife has a tendency of watching it. Is Love Actually. That's like,
Oh,
and
it's quite
you know,
cute.
I love that
Yeah.
movie so
Right.
much.
So just to
Yeah.
point out, these are films that truck drivers will be watching
Oh,
by
whoa,
themselves.
Not every truck driver is.
Yeah.
Some truck drivers are very effeminate and love films. And
You don't
like
have to be
cry.
feminine. I'm
You never
manly, and I
know.
love that
Well,
movie.
you know what I mean.
Right,
Some
listen.
people like this sort of
I
film.
apologize. I apologize. I'm just.
Right.
I take it
Yeah.
back. I
Yeah.
apologize.
I accept your take back.
Wow. Yeah. Unbelievable. All right, everyone go and watch Love Actually now, just to piss Tom off.
No, we're watching Elf. We've said Elf. That's what we're watching. Right. Next week's film is Elf. If you have any suggestions for a film to watch, let us know. Tell us what film that you want us to watch, and we'll add it to the list. We'll put it up there. We'll, what film should we watch? It could be sci-fi. Could be.
Muppets Christmas Carol.
Muppets
I just
Christmas Carol.
thought of-
I can't think of anything else.
I
Go
just
on.
thought of a perk that we can have on Patreon. All right,
Ooh.
if they have it where they get to choose the movie. All right, if they have a certain, they buy a certain perk that you can get. You know, they get to choose.
It's an absolute decided. Whereas if you put it up on Instagram at the moment, we might pick it. Depends on the shit.
But if you pay, if you're
If
one
you
of
give
one
us
of
some
the,
money,
If you're paying
then
for it, we'll do
definitely
it.
it.
we will
We'll do
watch that.
anything.
You know, this is not one of those 4-hour long movies. You know, but yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
cool.
I think
Alright.
at that point, let's end
I
it
think
there.
we're ready. Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't listened, how is it you got this far? But we shall see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.